here's your mages, and we're gonna do a tier list. Essentially, ranked, competitive, casuals. It literally applies to everything. Overall, the idea is ranked for you guys to be able to play this shit in a ranked game and know what to play and know when to play and know why, what it's good and what's not good and what to be looking at. Because I hear too many of you fuckers coming in here. Should I be playing Baron mid? It's like, probably not. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing Baron in other roles, maybe if you have the right matchups, but mid, chill. All right, so SS is completely broken. S plus is going to be your top tier mages that will be top picked or banned, which there aren't necessarily any mages outside of the ones that are super broken that should be top picked. So I don't know if you're going to see S plus. Then S tier are like your top pick mages you want to pick second, third, you want on all your team comps. A tier are going to be your mages that are just solid and can go into different comps if you're playing it right. I hate the pluses. Like, I literally hate the pluses. I think I'm going to do S, 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 A, B. Those are going to be my 3 tiers, essentially. And then maybe D, because there's some shitty gods. So, fuck the pluses. All about the solid numbers. And we're going to go into it. Agni's going to be your first up. Agni's going to be S tier for me out of the mid lane, because Agni has a strong mid game, a god tier late game, in my opinion, in terms of team fighting and control. I think it's sick. And your early game is not bad. It's very neutral for the most part, as long as you're playing it correctly. So Agni's going to be S tier. Has favorable matchups into a lot of the top gods, like Merlin, Hera. Does well into them. Does well into most mages in general, if you're just worried about that one-on-one matchup. AMC, not as common in the mid-roll, but it's actually pretty strong, especially in ranked. It's going to give you pressure almost the whole time after level 1. You're clear and your poke is insane with your 3. Plus, you can one-shot other mages with your ultimate, especially if they're trying to like dash and you cripple them, insta-kill them. AMC is actually really strong, and I really enjoy when you see this in ranked games. Pwash is going to be S tier. Another one of those mages who's just good all the time, has great early clear, has really strong team fights, is the perfect god to just round out any team comp, because you have self-peel. You can dive in with your team. You can't really dive, but you can push forward with your team off of poke. You can poke corners, play big, wide team fights. You can secure objectives. You can lock people out of objectives with your ult. It's really solid. God, Honor, I threw in here just for the fuck of it, because I see it occasionally. I don't like it. Honor, maybe not D tier. B tier is a little bit more making sense. If you're going to double stack Hunters, Honor mid isn't necessarily the best unless you're just going for crazy aggression, which is really uncommon because you're going to get out cleared by a lot of the mages. Anubis, just not safe enough. Solid clear. Pressure's there early, but there are gods that can out clear and out pressure you and poke you and kill you, especially if you're playing like an Alpwash or something. It'd be really annoying. So do not recommend Anubis. Aphrodite, D tier. Don't fucking do it to yourself. 0 clear, 0 team fight. You just link to somebody and suck dick. Baron, bad mid laner in general, B tier. If somehow you're against a shitty matchup that has no pressure, but out of all the good mages, they all have pressure, you can get away with him. But outside of that, don't play him. It's not worth it. It's kind of similar to like the risk of Anubis minus you're going from aggression early with Anubis to no aggression, playing slow, playing for the team fights on Baron. Not good. Chunga, also B tier. Clear isn't strong enough. Your team fight's okay. It's kind of like a Baron, bad early game, okay mid, but you're going to get anti-heal. Like, the other team will stack anti-heal, and you'll just get fucked. The team fight's also kind of awkward, because unless you're long sustaining team fights, Chunga's pretty shit. Chiron is going to be A tier. If you need the Dispel is where you're going to see Chiron come in. His mid lane's okay. The Dispel is sick if you need an Athena. Like, they have an Athena and you need the Dispel. Chiron's solid. Pair a Geb and a Chiron together in a game and just play around that and just play off of counter engage. You'll be fragging. Chronos for me is going to be A tier. I think Chronos is really good. I think Chronos is way better and competitive than anything, but in your rank game, solid god. You have early clear. Your ability to 1v1 and fight is there. You're mobile with your 2. You have your ult to save yourself. There's nothing wrong with playing Chronos. Like, you can pick Chronos whenever the fuck you want, and you should be okay. Discordia, A tier. God you pick later on in a draft if you need to be safe. It's that simple. If you need a safe mid, that's okay at clearing. Discordia. Freya, I'm not sure after the nerfs where I would want to put her. I think in ranked, I'd probably put her up in like S tier. But overall, I'm so unsure that I don't know. You don't see Freya at all. She's banned every game. So I'm just going to drop Freya in S tier for the fuck of it. Hades, B tier, not safe enough. Kind of a shit god in general. I want to make sure I don't miss this queue. 50 seconds, okay. So yeah, you got Hades, kind of a shit god in general. Just, you're playing around having the ability to dive someone. So I guess if it's somebody that clears on the wave, you'd be dope. Or they have no mobility, you might be okay. Like you're playing into a raw or something and you're just hard diving. The ultimate is literally the only thing going for you against people with no mobility. That's it. Hebo's A tier, except for it's not the idea that you can pick Hebo in every team comp. It's more of you can later pick Hebo in every team comp. You'll have pressure in mid. You'll do a lot of fucking damage. You can one-shot anybody as long as you're playing it right. Like you see the way Paul plays that shit. You can get away with Hebo at any point in the game. It's just smarter to pick this later on in the draft. Hell, don't really recommend Hell mid. Maybe Hell in like a supporter solo if you really want to fucking play that shit. But anti-heal will fuck you. You can get a little bit of pressure, but you can be out-pressured by the top mages. You see an Opwash picked up, you're fucked. Agni into fucking Hell and you get comboed, you're fucked. Don't do it. Hera for me is going to be S tier. Let me jump in this fucking queue real quick. Hello? Here we go, I'm dumb. Anyway, Hera's gonna be S tier. I kind of want to put Hera in like SS, but I won't because she's not banned a lot. She's just played a lot. I think you're not gonna get hard countered. You're gonna build correctly. You're gonna be super tanky. The shield is nasty. Your one-shot capability with your ult and your one combo is disgusting. Just know how to play the god. Hit your 2. Good to go. Hera can be picked at any point in any game. Isis, definitely more of a draft comp. Putting Isis above these gods because you can actually get away with playing Isis, but it has to be another right team comp, and you have to have pressure early. You need to win that 1v1 matchup in the mid lane. Am I draft banning? Nope. Okay, we're good. Janice, another A tier. Okay, god in the most team comps. You're playing around the ultimate, the pressure, the rotations. So just do that. You can do that with any team comp. Kukulkan, I'm gonna move down. I would put Kukulkan between these two, but I said I'm not gonna do the pluses. So I'll put him in B. Like honestly, I would put him here because his clear is awesome and his team fight's good if you're hitting his ult. He's kind of not safe because he's not super mobile and he can be dove. So that's just gonna put him down into B. Merlin, SS tier, banned almost all the fucking time in your ranked games. High pressure, high clear. His really downside is being dove, but in ranked games, the coordination would have to be perfect. On top of his team would have to not peel. Like, it's just too easy to get away with playing Merlin every single game, top picking him and fragging out. Neath mid is going to be A tier if you need physical damage, solid pickup because you have clear, you have a little bit of pressure, you have the global ultimate if you're not rotating. If you suck at rotating, it's something to think about. Nox, A tier, underrated as fuck. While you don't have early clear, if you have a jungler that can brawl out and push in the mid lane at level 2, Nox's combo between the dash and the silence, like if you have lockdown, if you're using your 2 just to poke or you're just using the dash to do damage, it's nasty. Let me double check, make sure I'm not missing anything. I gotta pick. Whew, that could have been bad, boys and girls. That could have been bad. Okay, anyway, back to this. Nua, really safe, but a bad early game. You're definitely playing for the mid to late game. Pretty sick, especially if you combo with a Morgan solo or somewhere else. Awesome pick. Poseidon, A tier. Would put Poseidon up here, but honestly, outside of his pressure, he's not that good. You obviously force objectives when you're, or force actives when you're ulting, but that's about all he has in a team fight. He will be dove, he will be killed. Your positioning needs to be fucking flawless all the time. Your self-peel is your ultimate, and you're not going to use that on the front line unless you have some crazy frontline killing cop with you, which is just not common. Ra, A tier, not safe enough. I kind of like Ra in general, but once again, it's one of those, it's kind of like playing any other healer. He's a little bit safer than the other healers because he has the range, but you need to be able to reset and play fights slow and get the most out of his heal, which is all team comp based. Raijin, S tier. Raijin is probably one of the most common mages you see outside of Agni, Opwash, and Hera. High pressure early, great team fight. Only downside is the fact that once you ult, you're kind of stuck there, but your ult is insane, so it's fine. Scylla, low pressure early game, playing for the mid game, the late game, so can't put her above A. Soul, I would want to put in between S and A plus, or S and A, sorry, like right in here. Not doing pluses, so I'm going to drop her into A. I think her pressure is crazy high, and if you just keep up the pressure for the first 10 to 15 minutes, pretty GG. Morgan mid is going to be S tier, probably the highest pressure mid, on top of having the ability to one-shot somebody and then ultimate and one-shot somebody again. Awesome combo. Thoth, A tier, just low pressure. I think Thoth should be played a little bit more. I think he does really well in ranked, whereas you don't see him much in competitive. Vulcan, insane pressure, insane self-peel, insane team fight, objective secure, lots of damage. The only downside is if something is knock-up immune or you are getting dove by multiple frontline, you're going to be fucked really hard. Zeus isn't safe enough to go above A, and then Zhong Kui, I'm going to put in S. I think Zhong Kui in the current meta, with the ability to just W key at people and be super annoying and apply things like Gem of ISO, anti-heal, things that really are strong in this meta right now, and also be super tanky is a lot really undervalued in ranked, and it's actually super valued in competitive. So this would be, oh, I forgot Ul. Where's Ul's bitch ass? There he is. Ul for me is gonna be A tier, just because you fully play off the pressure, and if somebody can combat the pressure, you're fucked. Like, you literally only have pressure, nothing else going for you. Whereas Isis, you want the pressure, but at least you have the objective secure, and you have a decent team fight now with the range buffs. Whereas Ul's team fight, unless you're ahead, is pretty shit overall, in my opinion. I wouldn't play Scotty in mid. I wouldn't play CERN in mid. There's a lot of, like, most hunters you really wouldn't play in mid. You wouldn't waste your time. I don't think Scotty's bad in mid. I just don't think there's as much value or really a point to take it away and play it over anything else. Like, honestly, I'd rather have you pressuring out and going like something dumb like Anubis than Scotty, or trying to fight 24/7 with on her mid than play Scotty. Izanami's just a trash god in general. No one's running Sylvanas mid. So that would be my tier list, boys.